I'd like to get off this Nuggets ride. It's getting too bumpy. We break down why the Nuggets can't seem to trust each other this far deep into the season, and a little bit of pessimism about their ceiling. But then we have our first annual, no research, no watching of games, not a single moment of thinking about it, into the perfect bracket. You won't want to miss the process that people are going to be retweeting, sharing on all the social media platforms. How did these guys do it? Look at them go. You can see it. You can say, I was one of the 8 who was chosen to listen to it first time. Dan, play that funky but respectful music. Here we are on a beautiful but windy Tuesday night here in the Mile High City. I am your host, Kyle Poland, joined as always by my brother, Ryan Poland. Ryan, how are you doing today?
We're doing good. It's the beginning of another week. That's something to be positive about, I've heard. However, it is a great time of year. We're going to be heading to some March Madness games, so that's going to be a positive time. We're just working through the work muddle. We're deep in it right now. So
sometimes you just got to muddle. You got to get a little muddle on and just muddle your way through it.
Exactly,
as they say. All right.
How are you?
Well,
you're on spring break, so
from one of the 2 schools, I am.
Have you just been saying over and over spring break forever?
I've been just saying over and over Cancun. But Bodie and Kesha don't want to go. So it's a real bummer.
I bet Bodie would want to go. I don't know if Kesha, 8 months pregnant, would necessarily want to hop on a plane to Cancun, but
yeah, Bodie's pretty loyal to that lady, though. So
yeah, that's true.
It's a lot. But we've got a basketball-centric episode for you here. The Nuggets failed the test, then they passed the test this week. They got kind of punked out by the Timberwolves. Then they barely beat a shorthanded Lakers team, and then they choked away a Washington game in which somehow Jokic has scored 90 points against the Wizards in 2 games, and we're 0-2. It's not positive. And then we had the miracle last night against the Warriors where Aaron Gordon just lost his mind, and the team just played great, and they kind of just were better than the Warriors without Murray and Jokic and Christian Brown. So up and down week. I would say more down than up. I would say this was a somber week thus far. But where do you come down on that emotional roller coaster I just described?
Somber, I think, is the right word. I felt nothing but sadness. I think it's part of my malaise this week, honestly. It's just like, this team is so depressing. I was texting with friend of the pod, Scott, and he was just like ripping into Malone. Just like, he doesn't adjust seemingly. He continues to do the same things. I mean, we were just like that Lakers game. the
Timberwolves game. What did I say on the podcast? I said, we shouldn't start Russell Westbrook. That's giving Julius
Randle is going to go off
a post up, and all that man wants to do is post up and shoot. Like, he doesn't want to pass. That's great for Julius Randle.
No,
It was the dumbest thing I've ever seen. Was the no Zeke, or even just being like, "Hey, Michael Porter, you got to guard Julius Randle." Like Russ can go out and get McDaniel. It's fine.
I've even stopped really getting mad about the minutia like that because I'm just so disgusted generally by the effort defensively on threes and layups. Like the two fucking things that you really shouldn't be giving up in the NBA were just sieves. All we do is give up layups and threes. And it's not because, like, Jokic isn't an A-plus defender. He is in the top 5 in the steals in the NBA. I will mention that per game. But he's hustling his ass off where he's, like, closing out or, like, hard hedging off of a screen, then getting back to his guy, then closing out to somebody in the 3 who makes it. And it's like, well, yeah, maybe you shouldn't be having your center, who's also running your offense, be doing that much work on defense. Like, there has to be something better. And supposedly Malone is the... Anyways, I'm getting into the minutia. I'm clearly still angry about it. But it's not even that. It's that, like, I'm not sure that this team has the ceiling that we think it could have had at the beginning of the year. Like, I've sort of had that feeling for most of the year, really. I mean, I was really pessimistic there for a while, and then they gave me a little bit of hope after the All-Star break. And I'm not sure that we've seen AG fully healthy with Jokic and Murray enough to truly make that assessment. But all of that being said, like all of that fairness, which I think is being fair to the team and fair to Malone and all of that, it feels like a fucking waste. Because we have, I mean, this isn't just generational. This is all-time shit that Jokic is doing on a night-to-night basis. And he's alone. Like, there's nothing out there that is putting him in a position to succeed. You need one fucking shooter on this team who can consistent outside of Michael Porter. Like, really, just we need KCP's best games. And clearly, like, KCP doesn't have those games anymore, which is why he rides the pine on whoever he plays for now. But
Orlando.
Yeah. He doesn't play. I mean, he's not an asset to them. But it's frustrating that we're in this situation where our head coach, who is not adjusting, supposedly does not talk to the general manager, who is drafting the players that the coach needs in order to succeed. Like, that right there is red flag central. I don't know the full story, but that's what the report is that they don't speak. So that's not positive. And if this season goes, I mean, Bill Simmons has said on his podcast, like, if this team lost 4-1 in the first round, I wouldn't be surprised. I'm like, yeah, no, nobody who watches the Nuggets this year would be surprised by that outcome. It's super matchup dependent. But if that does happen, I think there's a real case to be made for some sort of change. And I don't know who that is, and I don't think that the Cronkies would do it. But that, to me, was the big takeaway, is like, if this goes potentially as poorly as it could, I'm going to be clamoring for something to fucking happen.
Yeah, to me, the part that you can, without getting into the minutia, like you said, that you can definitely lay at the feet of Malone, is that defensively, this team doesn't trust each other. And that's where what you're talking about with those, oh, why are we having to close out from so far away? Why does this look so hard? And it's because, guys are overhelping on times when they don't need to. Guys are flying by shooters just out of control. It just goes on and on.
It's basic.
Instead of just being like, okay, our game plan here is I'm sticking to my guy on this side. If Christian can't stay in front of whoever he's guarding, that's not my problem right now. I know where my assignment is. Instead, people drift in, people try to get blocks, people try to do stuff. And also, I mean, we're just not fighting particularly hard. The stuff that I think you see Jokic put his head down the most is when he just like sells out high and then they don't even work to get around the big. So the shot comes off, misses, and the guy just gets an easy putback. And you can see Jokic be like, I sold it for you to like try to make this, and my guy just gets an easy rebound. It just doesn't feel like, it feels like we fought a lot more for that position and, did more work early and people just trusted what the other person was going to do more with KCP in that lineup.
It's interesting.
And Malone has to get some of the blame for that not materializing over the course of a season. Like, I get he has new pieces, but it should be improving at this point.
Definitely. And he's supposedly a defensive coach. Like, that's supposed to be his calling card. And I think while you were talking, it sort of dawned on me while you were describing like the problems and the overhelping and like the stuff that we're doing is sort of, I mean, we're going to talk March Madness, but like it's sort of March Madness-y where we're almost trying to be like a really scrappy, like get in people's space and like make them feel uncomfortable type of defense without any of the effort. Like, we're just in poor positions trying to, like, scrape out a steal, and we're like, shit, that guy got a layup. Like, but you didn't try to steal or, like, actually get in the other guy's way. You were just sort of standing there. That's a lot of what you've described is, like, it's not bad if we had the type of defense where it was just fiery, like, energy all over the floor, which maybe that's what Malone thought this would look like. But that has not worked. So let's try something different. I don't know.
No, and to me, it's like, I don't think it's as much effort as the average Nuggets fan puts it at. I think so much more of it is like dumb decision making and like overhelp and bad rotations. Like, Peyton Watson is flying as fast as he can along with Zeke Naji to close the corner. It's just the problem is you're coming from 2 feet in the paint under the rim to a corner three. God help you if you can get to that. Like, there's just no way. All the effort in the world isn't going to save the fact that this guy's getting this shot off in the NBA, and he's not particularly bothered by you closing out fast.
They said it last night on the broadcast when he was bringing the ball up after he like did some crazy shit defensively where I think he just fouled the hell out of somebody trying to block them. And then he was like bringing the ball up and just essentially dribbled it to the other team. It was like a third grade turnover. And I think it was Richard Jefferson was like, he needs to slow down. And that, like, he definitely needs to slow down. That guy is working at a higher frequency than he needs to be.
Yeah. But, I mean, that's just the stuff where it's like, I mean, that's coaching, right? Like, that's saying, listen, I am not going to get pissed if this guy scores because we can't guard him in a one-on-one fashion. That's what this is built on. I'm going to get pissed if your guy shoots a three here. And like instilling that, getting the reps.
The hustle, Peyton. However, I would like you to stay down and make him drive that ball.
Yeah, I don't need it.
He does. They don't want to drive against Peyton anyways. Like it's just it's to your point. It's dumb decision making. I've been fully converted to your side. Has your ceiling changed at all?
I always thought this was a second round exit team, and I could. Yeah, I think that's honestly, probably the ceiling.
I looked at it today because on the NBA app they have like the playoff thing where you can see as of today what would the matchup be. I loved it. It was Golden State in the first round. Yeah. And then Houston's the 2. So we play the winner of Houston and like the
Timberwolves probably.
No, because they would go to the number 1 side. It would be the Lakers, Oklahoma City, and Minnesota all on the other side of the bracket. Like we'd only have to face one of those teams.
They fell down to 9.
Maybe I'm wrong.
Because 7 plays 8. So they could win. I think they could win the 7-8 game, and then they'd be the 2. But I'm fine.
Yeah. They have to. You're right.
Whoever comes out of that slugfest, that is going to be.
They'd have to lose
series.
to the Clippers, and then they could win the other game and be on the other side of the bracket, which means that we would have the Warriors, Rockets, and Clippers on our side of the bracket. That could be a Western Conference Finals team. I mean, those are some shitty. That is an easy route to the Western Finals.
Yeah, I guess. I mean, like you said, though, it wouldn't be like a. It'd have been like if the Nuggets would have won the Game 7 against Portland. It'd have been like, we made an extra round, but no one is under any illusion that we're about to go out here and catch fire against Durant and the boys.
Yeah,
we're about to catch a beating.
I almost got into a fight on the light rail station after that Game 7 because I thought I was just like being whatever to this guy. He was a Blazers fan and obviously excited. And I'm like, yeah, man, like, obviously I wanted to win, but, like, at the end of the day, we were just fighting over who gets to go get destroyed by the Warriors. And he was like, no, man, you don't understand. This team's got it. Like this. And I'm like, all right, brother, enjoy that. Yeah, get high on that hopium for a while, buddy.
Where's that guy? Where's that 6'11" stretched wing defender that you guys are hiding? Because I didn't see him this series. But you're going to need him against the Warriors, so that's good that you rested him so he can be ready for Kevin.
Needless to say, he was not appreciative of my lack of belief in the Blazers against the Warriors.
Yeah. But, I mean, I think realistically this team hasn't shown any inclination to even consistently have put together a game where you're like, oh, that was pretty disciplined defensive effort. Like, it just feels like teams miss or they don't miss, and we're going to score a lot because we have Jokic and we have Russ playing at a really high pace with the second unit when everyone's healthy. Like,
yeah,
that's just what it kind of feels like to me. And I don't think that's a recipe for success.
No, I have no faith in this team to be able to hold a team to consistently 105 points. Like, that's just not going to happen. So no. I think that expecting great things in the playoffs, historically, you need to be able to do that from time to time. And
the only way I could see it happening is if we do kind of a Space Jam Monsters thing, but reverse, and we just gave a whole team, we're like, here, touch this, and you'll become like Playoff P. And they're like, Playoff P, that sounds awesome. And they touch it, and then just backboard, clanking them, over and over again. Then maybe we could hold the team in check. But
Jokic is he's going to have an absurd stat line in the postseason that is like, assuming we play enough games, it's possible we'll only have 5 games. But I think he is serious in a way that is alarming too. Like, that's maybe my last point, is that, like, the fact that he's doing some of the things that he's doing this year shows you how little faith he has in the other pieces on the team. Because he's like, brother, I have to score 35 points, otherwise we will not score any points. So I don't want to, I don't want to, but come on, I have to.
Yeah.
So it's gonna be fun, and it's fun to watch Jokic, like, no matter what. And that's what I have to continue to remind myself is, like, this is
hey, you know who else it's fun to watch? Aaron motherfucking Gordon.
Dude, that guy last night.
Well, but every time he's played that he's like finished a game, it's been filthy. He's been so good. And I just love Aaron Gordon, man.
Yeah.
That's why you want to go down with the ship, man. I love Aaron Gordon. I love MPJ. I love Murray. I love Jokic. And whatever, dude. if we're not enough, we're not enough. That's fine. I'm ready to cheer for those
Yeah.
guys in the playoffs. And let's
they're
dance, baby. Let's dance.
You'll notice that my frustrations were with the coach in the front office. Like,
Yeah.
I love the team, and they're likable as hell. And Russ has been an awesome addition. Like,
He was cooking.
Dude, what
last
did he have?
night.
12 assists in the first quarter or something?
Yeah.
Like, it was asinine. And he hadn't attempted a shot. No. He was doing some, like, Jimmy Butler with the B team shit, where he's like, you better pay me! You better pay me!
Dude, it was Rajon Rondo stuff. Yeah. Like, remember when people would, like, stand at the free throw line and he'd just get a running start and somehow get someone an open shot? You'd be like, this doesn't make sense, but he's doing it.
Yeah.
But yeah, Russ.
We got big games coming up, and we'll know a lot more next time we record. We're gonna have a lot more information about this whole playoff situation. And
the biggest one is tomorrow. The Lakers one is huge because if I said, hey, Wizards, Golden State, Lakers, what do you want the record to be? You'd say 2-1.
2-1.
And it sucks that the one was the Wizards. But to be honest, the tiebreakers with the Lakers are much more important. And this gets you the tiebreaker if you win. Yeah. It doesn't matter that you played like warmed over shit and stole a victory from them at home with no LeBron. That's still victory. So this is for the series. And it can help you really be solidified top 3. Yeah. It's a huge game. In a pretty good way. Because then you have some road games, but they're, Portland, some teams that are shutting it down.
Portland should be tanking, but that team is feisty every night. Jokic historically loves messing them up. He literally tore down their franchise single-handedly. I was there. I was in Moda Center and watched their franchise go up in flames at the hands of Nikola Jokic. So I don't know. After that Wizards game, you can't put anything past this team. I'm not marking any W's before they happen.
Oh, no. I'm just saying, then at least you have some manageable games, even though they're on the road. And then you have a matchup with the Rockets and you have a matchup with the Grizzlies still on your calendar. So we'll get a chance to figure it out. You got the Timberwolves again. You got a chance to figure that out. See if you can not get punked in your own arena again. Could be a good idea.
Yeah, it's going to be fascinating.
Yeah.
Let's make some March Madness picks.
Let's do it, dude. All right, so Ryan and I we watch the NBA. We don't watch the college basketball. And unfortunately, Ryan, I don't know how successful you were. I was very unsuccessful in watching any of these championship or lead up to the championship of these conference tournaments, which is normally how I get most of my takes. So I don't even have that level of information right now.
I would give myself probably a C- in terms of my general basketball knowledge. And most of that, I would say, has come from the last week of basketball, plus listening to some smart people talk about it.
That's excellent.
But that is not going to stop me from having fierce opinions about pretty much everybody in the bracket.
Ryan and I are going to fill out a perfect bracket now. We just wanted you to understand the level of difficulty which we're operating with here. That is not us making excuses, nor us saying that you should not, just follow our bracket pick for pick so that you, along with us, can win the cars and all the things that come along with the perfect bracket sort of thing.
How many college basketball players could you name off the top of your head right now?
Well, I'm so glad you asked that, Ryan. There's Clifford for CSU.
Neek.
Yep, Neek, former CU player. Then we have, of course, Big Whitey from Duke, who's apparently going to be the number one pick.
Cooper Flag.
Yeah, Cooper Flag. What did I say? I thought I said that exactly what you said. What did I say? Did I say Hooper? Hooper instead of Cooper?
I don't know. Maybe I just misheard you.
Oh, okay. But yeah, and there's some other ones in there.
Yeah,
There's
there are
some
basketball
other good
players.
players.
There are other basketball players.
I
know
them.
that somebody Auburn's got somebody good.
Yeah,
who's supposed to be good.
And I know that Rick Pitino is back, and no waitress is safe in America as long as that man's in the tournament. So
the Johnnies.
Yeah.
All right, let's get into this.
Okay, so we're gonna fly through this. We're just gonna pick with our hearts here, and any scrap of information. I think Dan should just come in and say, you know what? We both get a chance to argue back and forth. Dan comes in, says, "I like this," and
a true
we both
podcast bracket. I love this.
Yeah,
Dan's
we both
judgment.
Accept the honorable.
We know what happens if we don't accept too.
Oh my goodness!
Fate worse than death.
It's kind of like the Aaron Rodgers ayahuasca journey, but different.
It is spiritual in that way.
Yeah, I definitely would put it
things.
down as I've never been the same since I first became involved. All right, let's start in the South, Ryan.
All right,
we got Auburn versus Alabama State. Alabama State, of course, won by 2 tonight in the play-in game.
Take Auburn.
I too am going to take Auburn. I was
Louisville.
hoping you were going to be more impressed by my knowledge of the score of Alabama State. So,
no, to be honest, I was watching the first half of that and really.
Oh, I didn't watch a moment of it.
I was really pondering taking an under, which just tells you how much of a degenerate gambler I am.
All right, now we got Louisville Creighton. I want to take Creighton here with my whole being.
Great, love the Blue Jays.
Yeah,
I got a friend of Sophie's is in medical school there. We love cheering for. That's an Omaha?
We also saw them 2 years ago in Pepsi Center.
I didn't go.
Oh yeah. But you still were watching. Yeah, and they were a disciplined. They were a smart team. They ran good offense. I think Creighton Blue Jays move them through. All right. How do you want to do this? Do you want to do Auburn Creighton, or do you just want to continue down the side and then
let's continue down the side?
All right. Michigan, the Big Ten champions, versus UC San Diego.
Yeah, I want to take Michigan.
A 12
always beats a 5.
Yeah, I think that we can assume strong Michigan presence here in Denver.
We're going to be at this game.
Yeah.
I really want to cheer for UC San Diego. Do we just pick them?
Yeah, I think that's right. Also, isn't there something about teams that kind of overachieve and win their tournament and then they kind of flame out?
Yeah.
Because, you're kind of spent your wad on that. Yeah, UC San Diego.
Yeah. All right, great.
Texas A&M and Yale.
I kind of want to take Yale here, though. That's a 13-12 matchup on that line. Do we just do it?
I think we do it. What do we care? Right. I don't trust Texas A&M at all.
I don't know why.
Why? Because AC Law, all right, and DeAndre Jordan were letting me down back in the day. That's why. I've had many a bracket ruined by a physical yet not good shooting Texas A&M team. I won't go down that path again.
DJ went to Texas A&M, I kind of want to take them, though.
Mm-hmm.
Just for Nuggets karma?
For Nuggets karma? Listen, DJ would love to...
Oh, he's definitely going to be there, right? This is in Denver, too.
Yeah, he'll be there. All right. If he's going to be there, kind of feels like he's going to fire the boys up.
Wait, yeah, because they play. Well,
Yeah, they play here.
no, I know, but where do the Nuggets?
Oh, they'll be going. They'll have just played the Lakers, and they'll be going to Portland.
Yeah, so they're not coming back here in between that. So he will not be in town.
Oh, then that puts me back on Yale then.
All right, we're sticking to it.
Yep,
Look at
Yale.
us. That was real research right there.
Mm-hmm.
That was real thought.
Now we've got Ole Miss versus UNC. UNC, of course, a controversial team to be in there, but they beat the unholy hell out of San Diego State.
They heard those people. They heard
the
those
things
people
they did to that poor team. Oh, good Lord, they have families.
Yeah, I think they took that one personally.
Oh, Jesus. All right, what do we think here then? Because it feels like this is... I mean, UNC looked very good tonight.
I don't know anything about Ole Miss.
Only thing I'll say, Ole Miss, Michael Orr, Blindside.
Yeah.
That family tricked that poor stupid man. And so I don't think we should be on their side.
That means we have the 11, 12, and 13 seed all winning in the bracket.
Listen, I'm just saying, if I like the blind side as much as anyone, okay?
No, we're taking Ole Miss here.
We're taking Ole Miss?
Yeah. Or do you want Dan to rule?
I want Dan to rule. Dan, do you think that what that family did to Michael Orr was right?
Dan, they're the Rebels.
I would never go for Ole Miss in anything.
They're the Rebels, Dan. You should love that.
Oh, my God.
All right. That sounds like Dan's coming down on the side of UNC.
Right.
That's
well,
great.
then I'm going to put up... Man, I really don't want to cheer for Michigan, though. This is what I want to cheer for, so whatever. That's fine.
Yeah, dude.
Iowa State is going to beat the brakes off of Lipscomb.
Yeah, poor Lipscomb. Yeah, it does feel like Iowa State is going to do just fine here. Okay, Marquette, New Mexico. The last memory I have of Marquette is when Shaka Smart was still their coach. So I'm not going to pretend to be up to date here, but
Dwayne Wade was also good.
Yeah, I don't know. I've been burned by both these teams. I think Marquette should win. Is that enough for you, Ryan, or do we want to go Lobos? I have no strong feelings about this.
I just clicked on the ESPN thing.
Mm-hmm.
And when you click on the notable results, literally all but one of the Marquette notable results is a loss. So I think we should take the Runnin' Rebels here, or
all right, New Mexico.
Lobos.
Yeah. Despite the fact that San Diego State got the brakes beat off of them by UNC, we believe in the Mountain West.
Oh, man. I forgot about that, too. All right. We're taking Marquette.
Yeah. All right.
Marquette. Great. Are we settled?
Marquette. I feel great about that. And then we can finish out the first round here. Michigan State. We're taking Michigan State. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Now we'll go back up to the top there. Auburn versus Creighton. Can I say I want to take Creighton?
You certainly can. I'd listen to it.
Yeah. I think Creighton is just kind of really, really disciplined, really smart. The only thing I worry about is their guards are really skinny and small in the few moments I see them on Fox when they're randomly playing in the Big East.
Auburn's been bad.
I think Auburn could just have a bad shooting. It's the classic March Madness thing.
I think
Creighton knocks down some threes. Bing, bang, boom.
Let's do it.
Yeah, let's take Creighton. All right. Now we have, just like everyone else, UC San Diego versus Yale. And
a classic matchup to get into the Sweet 16.
Right. I'm thinking here, I think that Yale won't work as well versus UC San Diego because, like, the slow it down, fundamental work around, like UC San Diego sees that all the time in their conference.
Sure.
Right? They're used to that.
Totally.
I think we're taking them.
UCSD all the way, baby.
Yep. Now we've got UNC versus Iowa State.
I'm going to take Iowa State here.
Yeah, we can't take UNC here, right? No way. Anytime they play someone good, they lose. So I think Iowa State's good.
I've watched Iowa State a couple times. They look very good.
Michigan State, Marquette. I assume we're taking Michigan State here because we had to think long and hard about putting Marquette through.
Yeah. I think Michigan State, do we think Michigan State should make it out of this bracket?
I mean, they're certainly on pace too in my mind right now. But first, Ryan, before we get there, we got to figure out who wins between Creighton and UC San Diego up top.
I think we take Creighton. I like the Blue Jays, man.
Creighton. I like Creighton a lot.
I love their mascot. Let's do it.
Now we've got Iowa State, Michigan State. This feels like this is the Izzo factor, something you're a big fan of.
About Tom in March.
I'm just saying the Izzo factor's had a bit of a few down years, but it does feel like maybe this is the team he believes in.
He said all the right things.
And maybe we get a classic vintage Izzo here. Do we want to take Izzo? I think we want to take Izzo.
Yeah, I do.
Okay. Then we've got Creighton versus Michigan State to come out of the South. I think it's Michigan State. It doesn't feel like Creighton's a Final Four team.
Let's wait.
Okay. All right. Let's go over to the East then. Duke, I think we can put them in over whoever wins tomorrow.
Correct.
Then we've got Mississippi State and Baylor. This feels like a 42-40 game. This is going to be traditionally some sweet baby Jesus offense, even by college basketball standards. These guys don't even know how to run the 3-man weave. Like, they can barely speak to each other out there.
I don't know. Mississippi State has been putting up some points, man.
Listen.
90, 95 in a loss. 88. Or wait.
Maybe. I just am telling you, traditionally, I've watched these two programs, and it is rock fights.
Yeah. Well, what do you feel? The spread says it's going to be very close, so...
I just take Baylor. I just feel like when it's two major teams, the program experience and like program confidence that like Baylor comes into this and is like, we're going to win this game.
Yeah.
That feels like an advantage.
Yeah. I like that in March.
Okay. Then we've got Oregon versus Liberty. The Democrats versus the Conservatives.
Yeah, no kidding.
Then you've got this is a fight for America, Ryan, and I know which side I'll be coming down on.
Yeah, but I hate that side. I hate that side with every fiber of my being.
I forgot about the U in Oregon thing. I've
never ever cheered for Liberty outside of a runner named Sam Chalanga, who was this nice guy who they called him Quiet Thunder. He was like 5'5" and would just tear people apart on this cross country course, and then just be, "Oh, it was so nice racing against you guys." So I don't know. I'm assuming you want to go.
Is that
Oregon
a pro-Liberty take that I just heard?
It's the only positive I could come up with. They once had a good runner 15 years ago.
Okay, that's good.
Oregon,
I think.
All right.
Now we've got Arizona versus Akron. The 4-13 feels like a tough time for Arizona traditionally.
Yeah. AG, though, right?
Yeah. I mean, I think Arizona's talented. Like, I want to see Arizona, Oregon, like in the next round, like old Pac-12.
Yeah,
like I want to see that.
I don't want to cheer for Akron.
No. BYU, VCU. I think we go with the 32-year-olds.
We'll be here for this.
Yeah, I think we go with the 32-year-olds.
Yeah, BYU is. I've watched them a couple times because they're in the new Big 12.
Yeah.
They're kind of filthy, and they can shoot the absolute shit out of the ball, and there are going to be a million Mormons in Ball Arena making a lot of noise. So
that is... speaking of another team that's going to have a pretty good home court advantage, Wisconsin, Montana. I think this is Wisconsin pretty clearly. That Wisconsin has a huge contingent. Like there's Wisconsin bars downtown Denver that are consistently busy. Yeah, like that thing's going to be loud and proud out there for Wisconsin. St. Mary's versus Vanderbilt. It feels like
this is WCC pride for me. St. Mary's, baby.
All right. I'm not going to argue WCC pride. Alabama is going to beat Robert Morris.
All right. You seem confident.
You certainly do. Duke and Baylor, I think Duke.
Yeah.
Then I think we take Arizona over Oregon.
Baby. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Take that,
dude.
Oregon.
A Duke Arizona. That's a traditional matchup. Like Lute Olson,
that would
Coach
be really
K.
fun. And I'm gonna want to take Arizona. All right, BYU, Wisconsin.
I think we take BYU. It seems like.
Yeah, I think so too.
Then Alabama, I think pretty clearly over St. Mary's. Alabama is. They are good.
Yeah.
And then Duke, Arizona.
Do we?
I think it's Duke here.
Why?
I just don't think that. I think at this point, now you're getting Cooper Flagg a year, like a week and a half removed from that injury. Like now he's been raring to go.
Caleb Love on this Arizona team. This is like his 9th NCAA tournament. You want to talk about a guard? Like your best player is a guard with a ton of NCAA experience.
I've just seen a lot of Caleb Love, and I haven't enjoyed it always.
No, I mean...
I haven't enjoyed the decision-making tree. And even in 9 years, I still didn't enjoy it last year.
They did lose. This was back in... they did play Duke, and they lost 69-55 in November. Not that it really means anything. That was a long time ago, but...
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I think this is Duke.
All right, I think it's Arizona.
Dan? What say you?
Duke.
Duke.
Pussy.
Wow. Just harassing this man. BYU, Alabama. Alabama's going to beat the brakes off of BYU, right? They're just too athletic, too big. It's
I don't know, man. When you have the big man upstairs.
No. All
right. Yeah, I guess. We'll take Alabama.
Nope. Yep.
All right, let's wait on the Final Four because I think we need a theme for the Final Four, right?
Okay.
Like it only really makes sense when you're looking at them all together, and then we can sort of figure it out.
I like that. Florida, they're going to beat Norfolk State. Sorry to Norfolk State. UConn, Oklahoma. This just feels like a UConn thing.
I think it's a boomer, dude. They are sneaky. They are sneaky.
I mean, I know they should have beaten Kentucky. I saw those highlights. But it just feels like it's a Hurley versus whoever, and he's got time to prepare.
Yeah. I mean,
That's just what I'm thinking of.
Yeah, fair enough. Let's go to UConn.
But maybe it's one of those things where like the expectations were so high for UConn heading in, like this is such a failure for them that they're kind of de-energized by it. I don't know.
The best player on OU, Fears, he's filthy.
Yeah.
That I agree with you. I think UConn will win, but this is a 5.5 point spread, and that is not correct. These teams are closer than that. Like, I'm fine with taking UConn, but just a bit of gambling advice that I might need to make a mental note of. I think Oklahoma's a live dog there.
Then we got Memphis versus the boys in Colorado State.
Rams up.
One of the hottest teams in the nation, Colorado State. I'm going to take Memphis here. Listen. I've seen this movie where your best player from like a mid major is really good in that mid major because he is pretty athletic for that mid major. And then he comes and he sees Memphis athletes and he's not that athletic anymore. And it's harder for him to get his shot off.
This is John Morant.
I think
Morant,
Memphis is going to dog walk the Rams.
All right. Well, I'm going to Colorado State. So what do you say, Dano?
I want to do Colorado State so bad. I don't think they're going to win this game.
Oh.
Take Memphis.
So which way are you going?
Memphis.
Wow. Dan. I thought I was done for. Well, I know if we go to a tiebreaker on this one. If we go to a tiebreaker on this one, I know which way Dan will go here because his alma mater is playing Grand Canyon University against Maryland. Grand Canyon shows up for these kind of things, but the 2 years ago when I saw them, they were the definition of we have really good athletes for our league, and they were overwhelmed quickly at Ball Arena. I think I'm going to take Maryland.
Yeah,
that means we're straight chalk, though, in this top four.
Yeah, I mean, you don't want to take the most obvious upset on the board in Colorado State, so I don't know what to tell you there.
I disagree.
I also sort of advocated for Oklahoma, so...
Yeah, you're not wrong.
I don't think I can make a real case for Grand Canyon this year. I think they have their moments, but I actually watched a little bit of their game not too long ago because it's always fun. Their crowd is always just insane.
Yeah.
And they were not impressive, so I'm fine taking Maryland.
All right. Missouri versus Drake.
Oh, man, what a tough name. I didn't even really put that together.
Yeah.
Do you think they've really thought about renaming their school?
Man, if the Missouri pet band just plays Not Like Us the whole time, that will be... Oh, perfect.
You gotta do that. You gotta at least play it once.
Of course. That being said, I think I'm going to take Drake. I caught a little bit of their championship game because they were playing Bradley, and Kesha had she graduated from Bradley for her undergrad, and so she had like friends at the game and stuff. And that Drake team beat the pants off of them. My God, the things they did to my wife's life. She was heartbroken. Her passion for Bradley basketball is unmatched. But yeah, I think Drake is really good. So yeah, give me Drake.
For all the advancement staff listening to our podcast from the Bradley Athletic Department, you can reach out to Kyle's address directly with all those gift asks. She's been talking about funding the NIL herself, so that'll be interesting. If that happens, that'd be cool.
Please don't do that.
I don't. You said it, not me. Yeah, that's fine. We can take Drake there.
Drake. All right, then we got Texas Tech versus UNC Wilmington. Texas Tech.
UNC dub. No, that's fine. Texas Tech.
Okay. Kansas versus Arkansas.
This Kansas team sucks. Arkansas is going to beat them.
Okay. St. John's, Omaha.
Johnny's, baby.
All right, now we got Florida versus UConn. Florida.
Yeah.
Then we got Memphis versus Maryland. I think we take Maryland because you were kind of more on the Colorado State side.
I don't like Maryland, though. So now that we have Memphis there, like I probably would have advocated for taking Colorado State again.
What? Should we go back? I mean, I kind of want to cheer for a Colorado State Sweet 16 run.
Yeah, I mean, why are you so sure on this?
I'm not sure. I don't know anything, Dan. I've watched Colorado State a couple of times. That kid is super fun. They're fun to cheer for, and they're a Colorado team. I don't know.
I love that reasoning. I've just been
true
disappointed by
homering.
Colorado basketball a lot.
I'm true homer here.
All right, we're taking Memphis. Ryan talked me back into it. That
wasn't a convincing enough argument for you?
No.
I don't know, man. Vibes.
Drake, Texas Tech.
I don't like Texas Tech.
Yeah, it feels like you're down on the Big 12 this year.
Yeah.
It feels like you think they suck.
I kind of think
I
they
mean,
do.
are we going Drake then?
No. Because what do we have right now? Like, we only have Iowa State and BYU. And those are, I think, I don't think.
I mean, we have Creighton pretty deep.
Yeah, we do.
We're not short on some upsets.
No, I was just thinking Big 12 alone.
Oh, yeah.
Like, we only have 2 teams advancing so far. Like, we still have. The Big 12 is represented, but they're not going to have a great tournament, I don't think.
I mean, yeah.
We going Drake?
It's going to be on Houston. I'm fine with taking Drake here.
I feel like you're hesitating.
I mean, I am hesitating.
All right, let's take Texas Tech.
All right. And then Arkansas, St. John's. This feels like St. John's to me.
Johnny's.
Then we've got Florida versus Memphis. I think we take Florida.
Florida.
But that would be a great little rivalry. Fun game, too. Texas Tech, St. John's. This feels like St. John's all the way.
Johnny's.
All right. We got one more bracket. Then we can get into our final 4 picks. Houston's winning.
Yep.
Then we got Gonzaga versus Georgia. Feels like Gonzaga sucks this year.
They do, but they're favored in this game.
I mean, Georgia has traditionally been a just clank it around. But it feels like the SEC was a lot more open this year.
Yeah, and a lot better. It seems like from what I've listened to, the consensus is that Gonzaga is going to win this game, which obviously the money says that. I think we go with Georgia.
Okay. Great. Clemson versus McNeese.
Do we have a 12 over a 5 yet?
Yeah, we sure do.
UC San Diego.
Uh-huh. I mean,
I know nothing.
I don't love Clemson.
I have a bad feeling.
Yeah, that's enough for me. McNeese.
Done.
Purdue versus High Point. Feels like Purdue.
Yeah.
Okay, Illinois versus Texas or Xavier. This feels like Illinois to me.
I kind of want to see if Texas wins that game.
Yeah, but we're not going to hold this podcast for the 24
I
hours
don't
that
know,
would take.
man. No, that's fine. Let's take Illinois.
Nah, let's just take Texas or Xavier.
All right.
If
Fine.
you're feeling good about Texas, if Xavier dusts them, they're going to dust Illinois.
Done.
All right, Kentucky. Isn't there something too about the 11 team that gets to play before, like that it
Yeah.
actually helps them?
I feel that way on the other side too with UNC.
Kentucky versus Troy. Feels like Kentucky here.
Yeah.
And then UCLA versus Utah State.
UCLA.
And then Tennessee versus Wofford, Tennessee.
Yeah.
Houston, Georgia. This feels like Houston.
H-Town.
Then we got McNeese, Purdue. This feels like Purdue to me.
Yeah.
Then we've got Texas, Xavier, or Kentucky.
Kentucky probably.
And then I am saying we're taking Tennessee.
Yeah.
That Tennessee team is good.
Yeah.
Then I would say Houston over Purdue.
Me too.
And then I would take Tennessee over Kentucky.
Yep.
All right.
Here we go, baby.
So now we've got Creighton versus Michigan State, Duke versus Alabama, Houston versus Tennessee, and Florida versus St. John's.
I love our bracket, by the way. It's chaos everywhere but the top, and then it's pretty chalky, which I think kind of is what this year could turn out to be.
Yeah. All right. Does the Blue Jays magic end? Or are they going to the number?
I think this is Michigan
Final Four.
State.
Yeah, I think so too. The only thing that I will say gives Creighton an advantage in this game is that the Elite Eight is played, obviously, like 2 days after the other one. So you can kind of, someone who runs a good, cool offense, it's better the less time someone has to figure it out, right?
It's 5 days, potentially, or more. Yeah.
Yeah.
You're right.
All right. Now, we've got, I guess let's just go in order. Duke versus Alabama. I think I want to take Alabama here.
Yeah, me too.
This just feels like senior guard, like really explosive team, not going to be scared, going to kind of be talking stuff.
It feels like they're not as talented at the very top, but as talented 2 through 8, and then they've got experience on top.
And they've got a lot of athletic bodies to throw at Cooper Flag.
Yeah.
Sorry for calling you Hooper again earlier. That was my fault. Florida St. John's. This Florida team is really impressive.
Yeah.
It kind of feels like that. And it just feels like a little too easy for Rick Pitino to go from like the most disgraced man in college to welcome back to the Final Four, dog.
An Elite Eight with St. John's is a win.
Yes, 100%.
He can go wherever he wants now. Everybody forgot about everything he's done. Like that, I think we take the more talented team here, and it's clearly Florida.
Okay. Then we got Houston, Tennessee. I want to take Tennessee. I think Tennessee's good.
I love
the only thing is that you have Rick Barnes, and he is traditionally a terrible, terrible choker. But you also have Sampson for Houston, who is also a terrible, terrible choker.
Well, and there's a whole nother round for Tennessee to choke in, so don't even worry about it.
Okay, Tennessee. All right, now, Michigan State versus Florida. What are we doing here? I think this is a Florida.
I think so, too.
I
was trying to picture
really
Tom
talented.
Getting on a ladder and cutting down a net, and I was like, no, that's not.
Now we've got, man, that was a fun game. I saw a little bit of this. It'd be a rematch. Alabama, Tennessee. Also, dang, that would be a W for the SEC. having Florida, Alabama, and Tennessee.
Yeah, I kind of hate that. Can we change that?
I mean, if you think...
I don't think St. John's is going to beat Florida.
And it's Houston over Tennessee.
Duke.
We're putting Duke in over Alabama.
I don't see it with Houston.
Listen, I think we've made a perfect bracket.
All right.
I don't think we need to start doubting ourselves now.
We're going to have an all
Alabama
SEC
or Tennessee?
I want to go Alabama.
Yeah, I like that. And Florida, Alabama. Who would you give it to?
Man, is this football or basketball?
Yeah.
Count of three, you say who you're thinking. 1, 2, 3, Florida.
Alabama.
Oh. All right,
I kind of think this is the run. This is the Kemba Walker run from UConn for this Alabama guard that gets him like shot up into all of a sudden teams are like, is he going to go number 2 in this draft? Like, and you regret it. But I think this has a moment of like where maybe he just puts this Alabama team on his back in the tournament and is just unreal and wins it through kind of a force of will.
Yeah. So I just looked at the season series and they lost both games. I'm with you. They're not going to lose 3 times to them.
Alabama.
I'm fine with taking Alabama.
All right, Alabama, we've done it.
What are we going to put as our final score? Usually these games are pretty low scoring.
Yeah.
So, like, what do you think? 132?
Yeah, I like that.
That's like 66, 67-ish.
Yeah.
All right, so we got a Michigan State, Florida, Alabama, Tennessee. Florida, Alabama winning it, 132 points, and we're all going to be millionaires.
Dude, I can't wait to be a millionaire.
Yeah, it's going to be pretty cool.
We could take Alabama at plus 2,000 to win this tournament.
It's worth
$10 wins 200.
So what's your mortgage?
Just letting people know this information. We're just here to help.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you for listening to this week's episode, and we hope to be back with great news that the Nuggets went 4-0 on this 4-game road trip and are coming back home looking well rested, and Aaron Gordon has had no further complications, and man, does this starting lineup look filthy. That's what we hope we're saying next time we see you. Brian, anything else to add?
From your lips to God's ears.
Let's go. Please share, rate, subscribe, 5 stars. Thank you so much.
Bye.
Blucifer Brothers is a Crab Shell Media podcast.